What's up? Danny Hayasaka with Call One and Hell Direct, helping people do their business better. So as the landscape has changed, so has our organization, and we are now dedicated to the AV industry. And so what we're doing is we're creating an AV team, and we have brought on some expertise that's been around for a while. And so I'm gonna let them talk about themselves. And so let's start with Lonny Bowers. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Hey, Danny. I guess being around for a while implies that I'm old, but I'll accept that. I grew up in stereo stores. So from the age of 2, I spent nearly every day around high fidelity and audio and sound systems. So when I was 16, I went to work in a speaker factory, and that's kind of where I got my taste for commercial sound, building speakers, amplifiers. And then after that, in my mid-20s, I started designing products and kind of caught the first wave of the video conferencing, and then I was hooked. And that's kind of where I started in this industry back in the 90s, and have been, kind of designing products and passionate about this kind of work ever since.
Awesome. And Jason?
Yeah, I'm Jason. I have been in low voltage and AV for about 10 years. Then I went and did IT for about 10 years. So I thought this opportunity here with this company would be great for me, because I'm able to incorporate both of my backgrounds with like Danny said, with the landscape changing. All of this AV is now IP based. So I figured this would be a perfect fit for me.
Awesome. And so, Lonny, why did you choose to join Call One? Because you can essentially go wherever you want. So why did you choose the Call One team?
I met with Call One's leadership last year, and it wasn't about employment. It was about a partnership. And I was thoroughly impressed with the leadership and the meeting. As we continued to talk, I learned that they wanted to have a special focus on AV and get a division going. And the leadership, it was a positive work environment as we continued to talk. And that's quite honestly why I joined, to kind of reinvent the AV with Call One. But more importantly, I just like the people and I like the company.
Yeah, I was speaking with Lonny, and he told me about this opportunity, and I was just blown away with just the way that he wants to do things. I come from an AV background where, an AV system's like $30,000, $40,000 in the conference room. And he says that we don't have to do that. We can make it very simple. We can save the customer money, and we can put out great product. And he introduced me to this whole new video conferencing that I wasn't even aware of at the time. And I've just been thoroughly enjoying learning it and supporting it and putting all these projects together.
Awesome. And that's a great segue into our next question, which is, what are we doing differently from the traditional AV integrators?
Well, I was a traditional AV integrator and grew up, in the industry with a lot of the disciplines that these companies have, which are good. In 2020, during the pandemic, a whole new generation of products came out. There was centralized control. There was the UC platform was very important, instead of just designing systems around the 4 corners of the room. And these new generation of products basically didn't use the traditional AV connectors, but they used USB connections. And what we did a little bit differently is we embraced that technology versus fighting and kind of over designing. So we help our clients navigate. There's probably 30 to 40 different bars that we sell right now. And we've developed a whole new generation of design tools that help do everything from measure acoustics to compare the bars. So that's how we're different. We're embracing the new technology and embracing the new hybrid work experience. One thing that makes us different is our ability to identify the performance differences with the different video bars and systems on the market. So for example, I have 2 video bars in front of me, and at the same distance in the same environment, you'll see that one produces a fairly good sound quality. To the second one, it produces a different sound quality. And these are really important things to identify when you're designing a conference room. Another thing that makes us different is we've invested a lot of time in designing tools that help us identify the performance differences with all the different products on the market. So Call One has the ability to look at the 32 different systems that we sell and to do comparisons to see which devices are going to, how they'll work with each other, their compatibility, and their capabilities, even price. Call One also has design tools that allow us to remotely calculate the performance of the room. We use standards to calculate microphone performance, video performance, and camera performance, and even third-party peripherals.
All right, so when it comes to helping clients, what are some key pieces of information that we need from our customers in order to help them design the appropriate space or provide the appropriate solutions?
The first thing we want to focus on is the platform, because the platform will have certified products, and we'll want to, if it's Zoom or Teams, we'll want to focus on those products that are certified on the platform. The second is the use case. Our clients will certainly meet internally, but they also may need to meet with vendors or partners. So they may have requirements that are outside of their platform that we need to consider. We need to understand the space, the furniture layouts, the space where this equipment is being installed. And then we also need to understand their expectations for doing presentations within the room. Do they want wired connections? Do they want wireless? Do they want both? Where do they want to present it? So their ability to share the screen and present in the room and to present to the other side is important for us to know as well.
I think Lonny hit it on the head right there. I mean, you definitely need to know the platform, the use case, the room acoustics, and just what type of peripherals that maybe they wouldn't be thinking about. Would you want a 360 camera in the room? Would you want a whiteboard in the room, or a digital whiteboard? Things like that.
You mentioned Microsoft Teams and Zoom. Those are two of the prevalent platforms that are out there. What about other platforms? Because folks today, there's a BYOD movement. When people are coming in a hybrid workspace, they're coming in with their laptops, and maybe not the main conference room or meeting space, but there are a ton of focus rooms, huddle rooms, a phone booth throughout organizations. How do we have the ability to support those spaces as well in terms of a BYOD outside of Teams and Zoom?
We do have the ability to support BYOD. So the outside of Teams and Zoom, the other platforms that we're seeing are Google Meets, we see Ring Central, and we see WebEx. And the BYOD capability is often done in addition to the rooms that we meet with, because if you decide to go with Google Meets as your platform, you may still have to meet with Teams or Zoom. And BYOD gives you that flexibility, and it's part of just about every system that we design.
Can you share some examples of how we've helped customers simplify a project or save them some money?
As rooms get larger or more complex, the need for a traditional AV integrator or AV systems is usually required if you want to use that space for Teams or Zoom or other conferencing. So one recent scenario that employs our kind of simplistic approach to what we do and embracing this new technology was a divide combine room. So in this space, the room had to separate and operate as independent systems and then combine for one large room system. The traditional approach is to basically route all the microphones, speakers, cameras through the centralized AV infrastructure. This type of system requires a lot of back-end hardware, custom programming. There's a lot of customization, and it gets somewhat expensive. What we did in our design was we embraced a new generation of AV over IT by using VLAN routing to solve the problem. So instead of having a big room full of AV hardware, we use a network-based approach to accomplish the same things, to allow the system to still be Teams compliant and work through the Teams interface, and the cost was reduced by about half.
That's amazing. Yeah, so I've always fully embraced the newer technology, and I absolutely love it. And so if customers are interested in learning more, what do they need to do?
Contact your Call One or Hello Direct rep. Let's meet, let's see your room, and the AV team will help you with problems like adding equipment to your room or even deciding a platform. Even in some projects, we've helped people integrate their existing technology, like their phone systems, with their new meeting platforms like Zoom or Teams.
So are there any other key points you'd like to make people aware of that are out there? I know that in my conversations with clients, there seems to be a huge knowledge gap between what they know versus what's possible. So are there anything else you'd like to share with the folks?
Yeah, part of the reason that I think that we have this onset success with our AV group is our ability and the assistance that our company has given us to play with these systems, to use them, to have them in our hands, to test them. You'll see there's 4 systems just in my office alone. But more importantly, in our Cape Canaveral office, we have several experience rooms, and we kind of have the unique ability to let people dial in to simulate their meeting experience with all the different leading manufacturers, whether it's Logitech, Owl Labs, Poly, Yealink, even peripherals like Yamaha, and really understand what the meeting experience will be with those systems. So if you are looking at different manufacturers and want to really understand how your meetings will look, and take us up in our experience rooms.
Yeah, so folks, and I'm going to tell you right now, because I manage and run those experience rooms, and they have been absolutely eye-opening for customers when they come in and they finally realize what's possible versus what they all come in with the preconceived idea of what they think they need. And once they see what's available, i.e. content cameras for the dry erase whiteboard, you have the ability to wirelessly share content or even joint conferences. You have the different little nuances between all the various video bars, even though they all basically do the same thing, video, microphone, speakers. The AI and the technology that's built into each of them performs a little bit differently. And so that's why it's so important to understand your use case so that we can align the appropriate solutions with that use case. I had one client that the only thing they were interested in was just basically the smart gallery. And so if you look at the different video bars, they all do it a little bit differently. Some can support up to 16 people in their individual frames, and some only support up to 4. And so understanding these differences is critical when you're trying to identify the appropriate solution.
Oh, just a one-click join is like the biggest thing for me. People don't realize like how easy it is to join a room. And if you have one laptop, the one person with the laptop doesn't have to start the meeting at every time. And anybody could just come in, hit a touch controller, and join the meeting and fire up those speakers and those cameras and those displays.
All right. Well, thank you guys so much for doing this and taking time out of your busy day to talk with little old me. For the folks out there, if you have any questions at all, feel free to reach out to us. All our contact information is going to be somewhere. And as always, if you like this type of content, don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment below. Let us know what you'd like to see, and we'll do our best to make it. Thanks.